In 7 billion human news, President Putin says he's pulling his troops back from the border, but there's no proof that his troops have moved. There's no proof that his troops have moved. They haven't moved anywhere. What a liar. What a liar. I guess they've given them till Sunday to pull troops back from the Ukraine. Pull your troops out of the Ukraine. Which is what you should do. These poor Ukrainian people are suffering in poverty enough now without some superpower beating their brains out, killing them, slaughtering them. Dozens and dozens and dozens have died already. You won't be satisfied until there's a major war here. You won't be satisfied until there's a major war with the Ukraine. And that's the dehumanizing part of it. This is a small nation being bullied by a big nation, as we did against Iraq, as we did against Afghanistan. We didn't bully them, but we bullied Iraq. We bullied Iraq. But this guy's bullying Ukraine, and that's the damn truth. And George Bush was a liar, so is President Putin. One of the biggest liars on earth. Because he moaned and cried about George Bush and that APE treaty, and he went ahead and invaded another nation himself. So he put himself on George Bush's level. Liar and war criminal. And that's all he did. He put himself on his own level, George Bush. They both lie. They're both war criminals. Because you kill people in another nation, it makes you a war criminal. When you slaughter and butcher people in another nation, it makes you a war criminal. Cost of human life in this world. People in their wars. People in their wars. They think it's always the war to end all wars. Everybody thinks the war to end all wars. But it doesn't stop the burying of human lives. Whether Ukrainian, Russian, or American, or Iraqi, or Syrian. It doesn't stop the burying of human lives, does it? It doesn't stop the burying of human lives. That's the shit part of it. So they keep burying human lives. Everybody's so quick and so fast to order troops and people to kill each other. But they're not so fast to say peace. Stop. Never say that. Just kill, and more kill. Blockade people out, blow up buildings, bomb places, burn places, loot places. People have no water, no power, no human effect. That's the human effect. People have no water, no power, no nothing. It's a stinking rotten shit of human life that governments like to do. They like to create their own little wars, their own little havocs of human slaughter, human destruction, human decay. This is the sadness of human life. I really pity President Putin, because he became what George Bush was and is, a war criminal. He became what George Bush was and is, an absolute war criminal. And that's the sadness of human life. This guy's now made himself nothing but a dictator and a war criminal. And that's the sadness of human life and the failure of human life. You're not a fan now. That's the failure of human life. That's the sadness of human life. It really is disgusting. It really, really is disgusting. What he's done is become a war criminal. He's done nothing but become a little George Bushy or Hitler. And that's the sadness of human life. People don't understand. Human lives are going to die. Human lives die all over the world. Nobody says nothing. It's just a little piece of news. Well, here's a big piece of news. The human race is tired of it. The human race is tired of dying in wars. Syria, wherever it is in the world. The human race is tired of dying in your wars. Why don't you go fight amongst yourselves and settle it that way? And then we won't have this problem. One leader can kill the other, or one leader can kill the other, or they can beat the hell out of each other and decide it that way. Why does it always have to be the cost of human life, the toll of human life that kills in this world, that gets killed, that gets slaughtered, that gets raped, that gets tortured, that gets butchered? It's always the human life. That's always the answer. Another human life, another human death after another human death. This is what this channel protests about. This is what this channel protests about. Because he just made himself on George Bush's level. George Bush is nothing but a twisted, lying, two-faced war criminal who went through 8 years of killing and bringing troops home, slaughtered, butchered, walking on prosthetic limbs, went outside. The sadness of human life that people lose all the time. The people lose. The people of the human race lose. The people of poverty lose the most. The people of poverty lose the most because they have no power, they have no water, they have no food, they have nothing. They have nothing, goddammit. Nothing. How sick and tired I am of leaders playing God with human lives. Pro-Russian, pro-Ukraine. Try human beings. These are human beings that you're sending to death, that you're sentencing to death, because you want to stick your nose in Ukraine's business. Think about that. That's what you're doing. You're a war criminal. You're nothing but a cheap little war criminal like Adolf Hitler was, except on a smaller scale. He killed 50 million. How many lives are you going to cost before you pull out of Ukraine? Or you pull your troops back? How many? Will you ever be satisfied? 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 This is why you need to strengthen the U.S., to strengthen the power of the human being. This is why you need to strengthen the power of the human being. Because it's a disgrace to human life that we always got to be the ones that get buried. We always got to be the ones that get buried. And that's the sadness of human life. That's the decay and the funk, stink, rot of human death of human life that we, the poverty people, have to go through. It's always the poverty people. The rich order the wars. The rich order the wars. So the rich can sell their weapons of war. And it just goes on and on. It's like a business. War has become a business. War has become a stinking, rotten, human life-killing business. And that's the truth of human life. That's the goddamn fact of human life that nobody realizes. That war has become a billion-dollar business. A mega-billion-dollar business. Selling weapons everywhere around the world. So they can market their guns and their killing machines. That's all it is. It's a billion-dollar business. They wouldn't have nowhere to waste. You could heal all the poverty in the world with a tenth of the money they spend. Just laying the human race in the mud. Bodies laying face down or face up or blown up or blown to pieces or blasted. Children walking in the minefield getting blown to hell, losing 2 legs and an eye. A third of the world is mine. A third of the world. A third of the world is mine. Kids walk into it. It's become a mega-billion-dollar business. Weapons and guns have become a mega-billion-dollar business. That's the human truth. Get the hell out of Ukraine, Mr. Putin. You want to prove you're a better man than George Bush? Then get the hell back to Russia where you belong and take all your Russians with you. Pro-Russians want to live in Ukraine, and they should live the Ukrainian way. It's like living in America. If you live in America, you've got to live as an American. You don't live and kill people here for honor because it's called murder. You live in America, you live as an American. You take that American oath to defend this country. Same thing with every nation. The human race is the same way. Let it live. Why don't you government leaders stop killing everything in human life? And you might find a way to end poverty. If you government leaders stop killing everything in human life, you might find a goddamn way to end poverty. If you stop killing all the human life, you'll find a goddamn way to end poverty. That's the truth of human life. If you stop killing it, slaughtering it, butchering it, raping it, burying it in the ground like a hunk of mud, you'll find a way to solve human poverty. You'll find a way to solve human poverty and the money to do it with. 10 times the money you'll ever need to do it with. That's the sadness of human life. So they can find money to kill, but they can't find money to feed. What do you know? They can find money to kill the human race. Putin, President Obama, doesn't matter what world leader it is. They can find money to kill the human race, but they can't find the goddamn money to feed the poverty people. They can't find the 2/3 of the world lives on $1 a day or less. That's the human poverty. That's the human poverty. They can find a goddamn way to kill every one of us in wars and death and machines and machines because it's a mega-billion-dollar business. Business owns every government in this world. And that's the goddamn truth. That's the truth. Business owns every goddamn business in this world. Every goddamn government in this world. That's the human sadness of human life. He's not going to pull the troops back. He's just waiting to start a war. He's just itching to start a war to prove that he can be George Bush. Nobody thinks about the cost of human life, human effect, human care. Nobody thinks about that. Nobody thinks about that. It's just easier to kill than it is to feed. It's easier to kill. Well, we got a few too many people. We'll kill a few more tomorrow. That's what this channel is all about. Stopping the death of human life in every goddamn nation on earth. Because it's about time that we took a stance against being the victims of human life. human governments. It's about time we took a stance against being a victim of human governments. Any government. Any goddamn government. Now there's the human truth. There's the human fact. There's the human life. Life, not death. It's the sadness of human life that they don't give us any value for human beings. But they can spend 300, 500 billion, 600 billion, 700 billion dollars on killing the human race. But they can't find money for cancer research. Valerie Harper did a show on it today. Testified in front of Congress. This is the human news. Set the human life to death. It's easier than feeding it a piece of bread, or a glass of water, or a glass of milk, or letting them have a shower, or letting people have their children live in peace. They gotta steal them like filthy, rotten rats at night, and nobody knows where the hell they're at, because they want to go to school. All because they want to go to school. All because girls want to go to school. This is the failure of humanity. It's a failure of humanity to put their foot down and say no more. That's what we need. We need a protesting site for all the world, for all the human race, for all the human race. Every one of us, from the Congo to Uganda, wherever it is on earth, that people are being tortured or butchered or violated or raped or molested, let them make us start paying for it. Like that woman told the Catholic Church, it's not just right to censor them. Send them to jail where they belong. Send them to jail where they belong. But he's not going to move out of there. He's not going to move out of there. He's just another political liar, like all political liars. Yeah, I promise you this, and what you get is the shaft. That's what you get from politicians, world leaders, world governments. It's the human shaft. That's all you get. That's all you get from these pricks. It's the human shaft. That's the sickness of human life, that they'd rather make war than have peace. It's easier just to kill and slaughter and bury human life in the earth. Aren't we running out of places to bury human beings? Oh, in Syria, they bury them in big piles. That twisted Assad and his Taliban and his Al-Qaeda like terrorists don't exist. This makes me mad. I'm so tired. I'm so sick of governments saying they don't have no money. But yet they can find money to send their fucking war machines to slaughter and butcher and maim human life everywhere on this goddamn earth. But they can't find money to feed the human race. That's what pisses me off. That's what really pisses me off. Is they claim they got no money. Every nation claims it's in debt. But it can send war machines to kill people. It can send war machines and debt to kill people. Where does that make sense? Is this a two-headed coin or what? It's a two-headed coin. They're lying on one hand and telling you shit with the other. That's all they're doing. That's all they're doing. The whole world moans it's broke. But all these nations are slaughtering the shit out of each other with war machines. But they can't feed the people. They can't care for the people. They can't educate people. They can't rebuild the infrastructure of cities, even in our nation. But they can find the money to maim and kill and blast and torture and butcher and rape and molest the human race. Isn't that? How much does that cost? What's the cost of that worldwide? $2, $3, $4 trillion a year? Human death, human slaughter, human rape, human violation. This is the cost of business. Selling weapons, selling ships and aircraft carriers and planes and jets. The Russians do the same thing. They supply nations with weapons. We supply nations with weapons. But we got no money to feed people. No nation has money to feed people. Just kill it. Kill it, beat it, stomp on it, jail it. We feed people in prison, but we don't feed the people in poverty. This isn't the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. These people are so politically ignorant, so politically incorrect, that it makes me sick, makes me want to vomit. They're so twisted, they're so full of lies, that we need to elect a whole new world of government. We need to elect a whole new world of government. By the people, for the people, of the people, and the poverty people. This is the 7 billion human being. This is the atrocities of human life. Its governments are more busy with their wars than they are with feeding the human race. They're busier with their wars than they are the human race. That's the human truth. That's the human fact. That's the human life. And these shows are going to keep on coming. And they're going to keep on telling the truth. Because they are the truth. Is they cost more to kill than it does to feed. It costs more to kill than it does to feed the goddamn human race. I've checked all the figures. This is the 7 billion human being news. Thank you for watching.